Well, we are now under a week until we're either very excited or disappointed because nothing happens. Next week, obviously, I've been mentioning this, November 6th is Take-Two's conference call. We're all hoping it's going to be a repeat of last year when they actually gave us all that information about GTA 6 and they teased the trailer coming, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, something actually interesting happened yesterday. An ex-Rockstar employee developer that actually worked on GTA 6 gave a pretty extensive interview. You can see this is on the GTA 5 or I guess GTA 6 o'clock channel, which I'll leave a link to the full interview because it's like 50 minutes long in the description. But this particular employer developer, Ben Hinchcliffe, he actually worked at Rockstar for like 12, 13 years. If we go to his LinkedIn page here, we do scroll down a bit. You can see he was a game designer at Rockstar from July 2009 to May of 2022. And one of the games he actually, in his LinkedIn thing, says he worked on was GTA 6. So I wanted to listen to this interview and sort of just see what he had to say. Now, before we take a listen to some of the interesting bits from this interview, I just want to say, look, he obviously can't talk specifics. The guy's probably signed a million NDAs. Rockstar's probably got snipers looking at him. But even some of these general bits he gave, I think they're very interesting. And again, if you want to watch the whole interview, because he does talk about some of the other Rockstar titles, which is very interesting, especially his RDR2 stuff. Again, link in the description. But let's go ahead. One of the first questions that was asked is, what are devs working on right now? The game is about a year out. We all know fall 2025. That's what they've been saying over the last couple of months. What are the developers working on right now?
I'd say a year, obviously a year out on a title that big. You're wanting to really tighten it in every corner. So a lot of bug fixing. Yeah, just nailing stuff down.
So yeah, okay, look, that's pretty obvious. I think a lot of us expected that. That's sort of what the devs are working on. The game, from what we know, is massive, and we all know Rockstar titles are some of the biggest games in gaming. So I'm sure there are a lot of bugs, a lot of stuff they have to polish, they have to nail it down. So yeah, that makes sense. Nothing really new there. He actually goes off on a bit of a tangent here about game development, and I thought this was actually super, super interesting. So let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say about game development, or a part of game development.
You make the game how you want it to be played and what you want the user to do. And then 90% of your work is actually doing stuff that you don't want them to do. So like you might just want someone to drive in a straight line, drive from A to B, please, just follow that car. And then they don't. They get out of the car, or they drive over there, or they shoot this person, or they turn around and go the other way. And it's just like, can you just do what the objective is telling you to do, please? Like, that is, but they don't.
So I wanted to leave that in here because it's so funny actually listening to a game dev sort of talk about that, because one of the best parts about GTA games, and he actually touches on this here in a minute, is the freedom. And it seems like that's kind of a bad thing when it comes to game development, because they actually have to think about, all right, what is this one person going to do? And I actually have to make it and put it into the game for that one person, basically. So I thought that was just a very, very cool insight when it comes to game development, especially on Rockstar titles. Because again, this guy's worked on GTA 5, LA Noire, Red Dead Redemption 2, and a bit on GTA 6. And he actually does elaborate on why Rockstar and, GTA, especially GTA 6, they're so good, and they're gonna be so good.
And in my opinion, good games are games that don't block the player or stop them, but actually allow them to do what they want to do, and it still works. That's, in my opinion, what makes GTA games what they are, is that freedom that it allows the player, and the game will still handle it and still allow the player to do these weird things.
So it's actually very interesting he mentioned all this freedom stuff, because one of the big complaints with RDR2, the most recent Rockstar title, was actually the lack of freedom in a lot of missions. I'm sure you've seen videos on YouTube about this, about Rockstar's outdated game design. And in RDR2, a lot of the times actually goes a bit against what he is saying there with the freedom to do whatever you want. Like, there's so many missions in RDR2 where if you just veer slightly off the path, or if you do something slightly the wrong way, the mission will fail and you have to restart. So this actually makes me a bit hopeful because I'm sure they've seen those complaints with RDR2. And if he's saying that the freedom is basically what makes these games so good, I'm hoping that means GTA 6 will go back to that freedom and basically allow you to do whatever you want. Like if the mission calls for something specific, but then you do it in a different way, hopefully you can finish the mission. And he actually gave an example about that in another part of this interview. But that makes me a little bit more hopeful for the GTA 6 mission design. Hopefully they're stepping away or toning down some of that stuff from RDR2. And then he went on to continue about why GTA 6 and Rockstar titles are so good and will be probably so good.
So you had to almost build in these what ifs, a lot of what ifs, and like I say, and that's what, for me, that's what makes Rockstar's games so good, is all that additional detail and content they put into everything that players probably aren't even aware it's there. They just don't know it exists, but it does for the people who just play it a little bit different.
So when he mentions that, my first thought is like, I wonder how many cool and like hidden Easter eggs are going to be in GTA 6. If that's something Rockstar, like if he was working on GTA 6, I'm sure there was maybe a philosophy at Rockstar, like let's throw in some small things for a lot of people who aren't going to find it, but for the handful of people that go further and try stuff out, they will find these things. So I wonder how many cool and small little Easter eggs will be in GTA 6. And then, of course, he was asked about the trailer 1 because he did work a little bit on GTA 6. I think pre-dev started back in 2018. He obviously, like we saw, left in 2022. So there was a time where he was working a bit, on the early parts of GTA 6. So it's interesting to get his thoughts and to hear what he had to say about trailer 1.
Obviously, super excited to see a trailer come out, for it to be shown off to the public. The trailer to break all those YouTube views and like some, just breaking stats and stuff already before it's even come out. Like, really good to see it come out.
So unfortunately, he didn't really go too in depth on that, but yeah, obviously trailer 1 broke all those records, and maybe trailer 2 will do the same. They sort of ended the interview with what he's most excited about for GTA 6, because again, he worked on it a bit, and this honestly might be one of the more interesting answers he gave.
I think just seeing when I left, where it was, and playing that final version, how much, if anything, has changed, how much things have changed. Obviously I was privy to a lot of new things and content and story and stuff, so I just love to know how that's evolved and how it's come out at the other end, and I just can't wait to play it. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
So the reason I thought that was really interesting is because, again, he left in 2022. That's also the year those videos leaked about the game, showing the game in like the pre-alpha state. And he said he's interested in seeing how it evolved, like how some of the stuff he's worked on changed. And I'm sure a lot of us have already seen those leaked videos. I think for us, that's also going to be a really cool thing to see, like how the game went from that pre-alpha state that we saw in those leaked videos to the final state that releases next year. Like, I'm sure there will be some pretty massive changes. I mean, we've already seen one with Jason's face and the way he looks in those leaks. He looks way different than what he does in trailer 1. So I'm sure there'll be even more changes, and that'll be really cool to see. And then the final thing to end the video and to end the interview, he says that GTA 6 has raised the bar again. So if you weren't already hopeful, take a listen to what he has to say here.
Yeah, I mean, you only have to look at how every game Rockstar has done has evolved in some way. And you could argue, like that mantra before, that every element of the game moves forwards in terms of it feeling more realistic and people acting and behaving more realistic as every game is iterated through. I just think it will blow people away. It will sell an absolute ton, as it always does, right? People will be talking about it for ages afterwards, just like they did with GTA 5. Yeah, I'm really, really excited for people to get their hands on it and get in and play it, just because I think they've raised the bar again. Just they always do, and I just think they have done again with GTA 6.
So there you have it. A guy who actually worked on GTA 6 and has seen the inside and all the stuff going on and says they did it again. They set the bar. They raised the bar again with this game. And he's saying that when he's probably only seen that pre-alpha stuff that we already all saw. So again, if you were maybe feeling a bit down because all the lack of silence and everything from Rockstar, I mean, here we have an ex-dev that worked on GTA 6 saying they raised the bar again. That is pretty awesome to hear. For the third time, though, if you want to listen to the whole interview, definitely check out the link in the description because he goes into a little bit more detail. I did snip out some of this stuff to not make this video super long. And it is just a very fascinating, again, insight on game development at Rockstar. But also next week, obviously, hopefully we get something from Rockstar. I think we're all hoping for that. But November 6th is the date to look forward to. So thank you guys for watching. Please drop the like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.